little tall city-like things. And of course I've done my own style, which is as much variety as possible because I'm like that. Let's head over by my house. Over here, my nice big house. There, you can see some of these buildings from here. Ah, yeah. Now that oak and cracked stone building in the background is not finished. So let's take some tours. In this case, this is the second tall building I built. What I did was I had an existing building that was 1 story tall, and I added on to it. So that now you've got, and they really seem to like coming up here. And it's a beautiful view. Look at that. Just beautiful. Up we go. Just for the giggles, I put in I've got to bring a boat here. It's an ice floor. And so if I bring a boat, it'll probably go really fast. So that's kind of fun. And then you go up to the attic. And it's a proper attic with, you know, little tiny windows. And it probably needs lighting. I don't know. Then up here, you've got lighting at the 4 corners, and you've got a deck. You've got a rooftop deck. You see down here, that floor is just beginning. I need more glass, and I need more cracked stone. So I've stopped at that point on that building, and I think there's more decoration I want to do on it as well. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Nope, I can't. That building there has a rooftop accommodations, and it's all decorated up. So let's bounce on down. Whee! And that's blue ice that I found. I found an iceberg biome and brought home some blue ice. So that's really lovely. I like that. And you can see it through the window. When you look at this building from over there, you can see that. That's pretty cool. And that's also visible from this side. And lights up both sides. I wanted to see how ice responded to light. And in fact, this blue ice seems almost to glow. So that's kind of cool. Silly creatures. So this building is starting to get ornamented. I've done this side. I haven't ornamented any of the other sides, however. They're all pretty plain yet. Maybe I don't know. Will I? Won't I? I should ornament this side. There's a lot of log stripping I can do. And buttons and fences I can place as I go along. This building's completed. It's got a lot of ornamentation on it. Whoops, that's as far as we can get. But yeah, you can see it now. It's a bit funky looking. I'm not a very regular sort of a person. Just as that one's a little funky looking too. Got character. Now, there was a building here already. So I just added on against it. And that's really fun. And then I built... Oops. It's the way cities grow. You have an existing building and you don't necessarily tear it down so much as incorporate it into the new building and build up. Or at least they used to grow that way. These days they don't because of building codes and things that don't matter in Minecraft. So I'm building this city in the traditional way. And I'm just loving the views here. I'm absolutely loving these views. It's wonderful. I love how that prismarine changes color. I wish the bricks did too. So then we've got... That's a really dangerous 3rd floor. I might want to do something about that. There we go. And... yeah, you could fall down here pretty good. I'll have to check that sometime. They don't actually use these buildings. The villagers do. So you can see here that I need to do some work here. I want to raise it up to the same height as these two. And then there's going to be some more built that are very tall. And I'm going to get myself a whole thing. And over there you can see the smaller shops. There's a tavern, there's a library, there's a church, there's a mansion like a governor's mansion or something. There's a really beautiful, beautiful lapis lazuli and nether quartz building with a gold floor back behind. And there's the blacksmith shop and the gardener's shop. There's all kinds of wonderful things there. So I'm having a lot of fun building a town, building a city, building a world. I'm just having fun doing that. And that's why I haven't really turned off peaceful mode. There are things that I can't do without it, but I'm not finding it necessary to do them. Peaceful mode is set up in such a way that you can have a full game experience without having to stop being a pacifist. Because you don't have to eat, you don't have to kill your animals, so that's kind of nice. I still kill animals to get XP on my axes, and I'm winding up building up a store of food. But mostly I play to build, and I'm proud that I've got all these materials in survival mode. So there's that tall building. You see, I'd like to build this one up tall as well. And down here you can see there were actually 2 buildings underneath in the foundation of this new building. So that's what I mean about building it up. Maybe I'll build a whole building, just take out that garden and build something that comes right from the edge or even over the edge with these 2 green buildings incorporated into it. What do you think I should do? It's going to take me a little while to finish the one I'm on, so write the answer in the comments. Give me some ideas. What do you think I should do? Yeah, that would be enclosing this whole space in a tall building. Maybe L-shaped, huh? Make it an L-shaped building. Because this is part of a road. There used to be a fence here. And it used to go along behind these buildings. Well, actually, that building got doubled in width. And then that set the tone. The original building set the tone for the whole rest of the build. I'm loving the new stripped logs. I'd like to decorate this side of the building as well. I'd like to keep the mushroom as well. So it would be kind of nice if this somehow became incorporated in a tall building, maybe a causeway up high. I do not know. It would be nice to keep the garden more or less as well. Gardens are nice, even though I don't really use them or even tend them. Villagers do a great job looking after the gardens. Ah, yes, we should go around the other way. Final last little bit here that you haven't seen. There's this narrow alleyway. This gives admission to the building that we saw from inside the lobby of the larger building. See, there's the lobby out there. Hi, guys. And then that's the narrow alleyway between these 2 tall buildings, and I'm thinking of maybe building a floor-to-floor causeway at some point. The Iron Golem is concerned with how narrow it is. And so I find that they tend to cluster in places that are considered potentially dangerous. So that's the tall buildings are being formed here. There we go. Now we're walking down the main street, Business District Street. This will eventually become tall buildings as well. This here is a town park. It will remain a park. It's got the well. This here right now is a blacksmith. It's a small building, but I could see it becoming the front of a much larger, taller building. Now here we have the tavern. Just a typical tavern with lots of nice wild party colors. Again, I could see building around it, changing the roof to a flat roof and then building up. I would like to be able to join across as well, perhaps. This here is the library. It's not very big, but then these guys really don't read. The thing is, when you build all the different types of villager building, you're much more likely to get all the different types of villagers. I think they, according to type, this is a red granite building that I'd really love to expand. It would have to get wider for sure. I think it's a little small to be tall. I don't know. What do you think? Should I make it wider? Take up the side yard to get tall? Part of the problem is there's a road through here. I could put it, I suppose. That could be pretty nifty. That there is the last. I don't check it before I start. So, yeah, step, step, step. You can see it. Little pressure plates all over. And some nether quartz and nether brick, because those are also extremely rare and valuable materials, and it's a rare and valuable materials building. And it's quite pretty too. I like that. I think it's neat. I really like that effect when you put the glass up high like that and then a high ceiling. It just, something about that look that just suits me. This is the garden shop, the construction office. That's right, it's the construction office. And we've got all these different kinds of things going on, which is, it's pretty much a chest dump for all the different stuff I've been building with at this end of town. There's another chest dump forming in the big green building. So, yeah, I just basically put chest dumps everywhere. Now, this is the church that I built, and these two goofy fellas got themselves stuck in these cauldrons. They've been here for days and days and days, and I don't think they'll ever get out. I'd have to try and destroy the cauldron to get them out and or kill them. So I'm like, you know, whatever, it's there, it's your shtick, buddy. You like it in there? Go get wrinkly. So then we go up here, we've got more lookouts. We've got another space. I know, I haven't furnished anything. I'm not really keen on furnishing things. I'd rather just imagine them as empty buildings that I might furnish. I don't have the imagination for the furnishing. Oh, look at my tall buildings now. Aren't they starting to look fine? I'm going to have such a nifty skyline. Oh yeah, so I'm going to take the skyline all the way down along here. This building's going to be as tall as it is. I kind of like the idea of leaving some land around the library as well, actually. So the tavern, I don't quite buy. And then we'll have a couple of open spaces. I don't want this to be an oppressive city. I want the skyscrapers that say this is a city. But I want the open spaces that say this city is human-spaced. We allow for nature. We have stuff going on. So that's the church, construction office. Now we have it's a private home, and I did actually furnish it. And the furnishing, of course, is typically lame. That's why I don't like to furnish. It just gets in the way of moving around. So it's got some carpet. This one here now, this was a big enough room that I actually felt okay about putting in furniture. So it's got a little couch and a little, whatever the heck kind of table you might be. A bit of decoration with the flower pots and the greens. Then up here it's got a bed and a rail and carpet. And then you can go out on the balcony and take in the night air. And I don't think that this property should be touched either. I think that this little mansion on the street makes a place feel prosperous. They can afford to leave room for classic buildings. So it will stay. And down we go. It's got a back door with a lovely little backyard. I just really admire it. And there's the church. Yeah, that would mean that this whole area here would go unbothered. And the church has doors through the hedge. Those could be plugged up with a door if you turned on hostile mobs, but at the moment, without hostile mobs, you know. Construction office has the cutest little porch. You could just come up here and hang out. La-di-da-di-da. There's a mine entrance down there, and I've covered it with trapdoors so nobody accidentally falls in. But you can still access it if you want to go down in there and gather whatever materials. Because the ground, as usual in Minecraft, is riddled with caves. Again, unfurnished, but I did put down some carpet. Some comfort. This would really do well to be enlarged. I think we've got the space too. Let's see. We can make it a lot longer and narrower. We can take it back as far as here and make it tall. And that'd be really fun. That one, I think... yeah, that one should be expanded. Maybe just make it 3 or 4 stories tall. So what do you think? Is there one you think should be made much taller? How do you like my use of orange wood against green stone? I get a real kick out of that. That prismarine. I might even go on a prismarine gathering trip. There's still a few temples to be pillaged and looted. I think I've shown you the castle, which is still here. I've had to use levers here because there's animals on either side who could open it if it was a pressure plate. I'm going to go up to the top and overlook the town. I don't want to let the horses and sheep and chickens out of the yard here. Oh look, we're on top. Now the final uppity-up. You up on the roof. You stand up here. Where you can overlook everything. I haven't done any further development along here since the last tour. I kind of like having this knob district, you know, Knob Hill, like the Snob Hill. Over there, it's woodsy. There's a farm. There's a log cabin. I like having these different zones. There are little micro zones of the sort of things that you'd see in a country or a town, you know, around a city. So I'm going to have the city along there, marching up to the castle here. And I have so many villagers already. And the thing is, every time I start building again, I suddenly notice there's more baby villagers around. So they get excited when you start doing construction because I haven't traded with them in ages. You know, you just place a few doors and those little guys are off to work. I think it's a ratio of 3 villagers per door, so if you add a door, you can have up to 3 more villagers be born in your village, I think. I'm really not sure. It might be 3 doors per villager. If you know, put it in the comments and let me know. See, I don't want the sheep to leave. I'm going to go by this gate this time. There we go. Whee! And so then you march back into the city. I'm looking forward to seeing more tall buildings here. I think that'll look really nifty. And then you take the little country path over here and you see the farmhouse, the old farmhouse. Here it is. Down this garden path, and it's like it's in a flower forest. It's just beautiful. Ah, and the pumpkins and melons have grown, which is also lovely. The Frostwalker boots don't seem to bother them. And I've done a little bit of log stripping on this one, but just on the interior walls. Only the interior walls, and I think it gives the place a much more comfortable feel to it. You know, a finished look. You're less likely to splinter. I would do the inside of these, but then I'd have to put double log walls because you can't do just one face of the logs. If you do the logs, you get the whole log on all 4 sides at once. And it's not something that I wish on the outside of this cabin. I really like the log texture here. So that's not going to get fixed. That takes us home past a couple of, the treehouse that has not yet been built.